Hello everyone, we're here with a special interview with the new athletic director system-wide for Lawrence County Board of Education, Lawrence County School System, Jeff Clayton. Welcome to you, Jeff.
Thank you very much for having me, Mr. Deal.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. A lot of questions out there on the new position that you now have or will have for FY17. Tell us how this came about, this new position.
Actually, it was the brainchild of Dr. Julie Alligood and herself and Dr. Janet Greer, Human Resources person here at Lawrence County Schools. I think they were talking at a superintendent's meeting and went to athletics somehow, and someone there mentioned to her about a system athletic director, and she was intrigued by that. And from there, it just kind of snowballed. I was called in for a meeting and talked about it, and we talked some more and emailed back and forth, and I talked with a lot of my peers, and God intervened, and so I guess I'm taking that position.
Yes, sir. And we're proud that you are. Our system is a wonderful system. We have made huge improvements on both west and east. The facilities are bar none.
They are obvious, and we're really excited about what West Lawrence has. East Lawrence has an awesome complex now, and one of my jobs will be to ensure that both of those facilities stay intact and or stay pristine.
And they are. We're so blessed with that. Academics are so well in the Lawrence County school system. Athletics, the facilities are there. Now you've had huge successes. You had many successes, maybe I should say, with West Lawrence. What will you be able to implement and bring to East Lawrence, or what are your goals there?
We'd like for the schools, Lawrence County school system, to be equitable across the line as far as facilities, what we offer the students as far as the various sports, and just try to be organized across the board, and hire the best people that are available for the positions, and encourage the kids. Have a good time, but I think sometimes as coaches, we think that winning is the means to the end, but it's really not. It's all about, teaching progression to the kids and letting them have an enjoyable experience. Winning is fun, and
Yes.
and that's what everybody wants. But sometimes that's not the end result. That you learn a lot of things from athletics. Your kids
Sure.
were athletes and still are athletes. And integrity and character and discipline and teamwork, or all those things are involved with sports, and
Right.
It's a big part of education, at least in my eyes.
Oh, it's huge, isn't it? And when children miss out on that, when young people miss out on that, they miss out on growth. They miss out on those opportunities.
Exactly.
So, okay, but looking at growing up on the east side and then going to the west side, what does it mean to you to really be able to impart to both sides of the county at this time, and to bring it into one system?
Right, and my roots are at East Dublin, East Lawrence High School. My stepfather retired from the Air Force, and he's from the east side area, and we moved back there when I was an adolescent. And I didn't really know anything about West Lawrence other than seeing a name. Back then you couldn't travel around like kids do nowadays.
Sure.
But job became available, and at Northwest Lawrence Elementary many years ago, and I got my foot in the door, and 29 years later, here we are.
Here we are. Now, what will the assignments be, and who will you have to assist you at each of the high schools in order to carry out all the responsibilities?
Right, and a lot of those things are yet to be determined. Right now, Michael Thompson will assume the duties at West Lawrence High, and I really can't say about the other schools until we can meet and all decide on who we think will be best for that particular school. And that's going to be a big issue for me. Will be to gain the trust of the people in each school system, and I'm going to do the best I can. All I can do is what I can do, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be because of lack of effort if things don't turn out. But I think everything's going to be fine.
So there'll be an in-house athletic director at each of the schools.
Right, at the 2 middle and high schools.
Wonderful. Yeah. So you'll have a person there on hand and right there. But so many questions have come in, from what I understand, over time here to the board about athletics. They call the board.
Right.
I've never understood it. You don't understand that, but people who don't know sports that well, I guess,
Right.
or maybe not as experienced, try to call the board office. And so this will alleviate a lot of calls, a lot of conflict that's happening here, or at times that happens here.
That's and you hit the nail on the head. I think that's one of the things that spearheaded this position for Dr. Alligood was people calling the board or calling her directly, trying to get an answer about, I don't know anything about athletics. Hey, where's the field at?
Mm-hmm.
There's a weed over here.
Yeah.
And I don't tell people what to do, but I wish we would work with the chain of command.
Mm-hmm.
At the school level, if something's not going right at East Lawrence Middle with the coach, a situation, call the coach. Have the child speak to the coach. If you don't get what you want, then the in-house athletic director can go to the next level. If that doesn't work, then they can call me, and we'll work it out from there.
Yeah.
But chain of command's a big
Very
issue.
important. Very important. And we're a growing system. Everyone knows that. Lawrence County system is growing leaps and bounds, and it's going to continue to grow. And there's going to continue to be some major changes that come along. So this position, it appears to me, is to get ahead of the curve, so to speak.
I think you could be right. And, this position obviously is in its infancy. And so there's going to be some growing pains, but we're going to work and make it right. We want what's best for all the children.
Yeah. And it shows, Jeff, in responsibilities that you've had. If anyone asks, any young people, whether whether an athlete or a student at West Lawrence has been in contact with you, they have the highest regards for you because of your demeanor, because you treat the way you treat all young people. It is about that young person. You are building character in every step of the way. But what is your philosophy on being an athletic director on athletics?
I think the biggest thing is to make sure that the kids can trust you. I don't ask for respect. Kids will gain respect for you when you treat them like people, and they ask a question, you answer the question to the best of your knowledge. And so that's going to be a challenge for me to gain the trust of kids who they don't know who Jeff Clayton is.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to be seen in the shadows. I don't like the spotlight. I try to stay in the shadows.
Yes.
And help the kids and the coaches, the administration with whatever they need, whatever tools they need to be successful.
Mm-hmm. People really don't understand at this day and time, Jeff, how much paperwork goes into it, how much that you have to document and prepare and has to go into Georgia High School Association on a weekly, monthly, sometimes daily basis, depending on what point of the season. So you're gonna have a plate full.
Absolutely.
That's
And
for sure.
this time of year, we're at the conclusion of all the region sports, and so there's all kind of documentation and kids and times and places that who got first, who got second, all these things that Georgia High School now does electronically. That back in our day everything was handwritten, and so. If you miss a deadline, they'll let you know you missed a deadline.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's another big part of my responsibility.
Yes, we wish you the best with that. We really do. What would you say to the community at large and going forward, Jeff?
Just be patient with us, and everything's going to work out fine. We're going to do the best we can. I'm going to give you the best effort that I can, and if you ever need anything, you can call me directly. I'm always available.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. Dill.
All right. Thank you for joining us.